Yo, what's going on guys? Jared here. Today, Konami decided to reveal the new Ashen archetype, the TCG exclusive archetype that we get and that the OCG does not have. These cards just got revealed today. They are all Pyros. We already knew that, but they have their effects revealed and their rarities revealed. So I want to go through these cards together and give you my first thoughts on them. So first off, we have Vitos, the Eruption Dragon of Extinction. I just want to start by saying that the art on these cards is insanely good. I love the art on them. But this card reads, during the main phase, if this card is in your hand, quick effect, you can target one card in a field zone, special summon this card from to your opponent's field. And if you do, destroy that card. Then you can add to your hand or set one Ashen continuous trap from your deck. If this card is sent to your opponent's field to your graveyard, you can destroy all monsters on the field. You can only use each effect of Valdos the Eruption Dragon, Extinction Dragon once per turn. This card is very cool as a combo to any deck that requires field spells as combo starters or anything like that. It's really the big one. But this also can punish stuff like Fire King going into the next format if they are using their Fire King Sanctuary as fodder for something like the Snake Eye Ash. You can use the Vitos to destroy their island, and then you kind of have like a Raigeki on turn 0 at any point you want, which is pretty cool. I think this card will see play in further formats. I don't know how it's going to fare right now. That's just one little example that we have for the Fire King deck specifically that is in the current format, but this is a very cool, unique card. I really like the way this card is designed, and I think it's could see play in the future. But going into more of the archetype now, we have King of the Ashen City. If I'm going to say the Ashen field spell is in the field zone, so that's either field zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. This applies to all of the Ashen monsters, so I just want to make sure you guys know that. And then you can only special summon it this way once per turn. So they all have that same effect. If the Ashen field spell is on the field, you can special summon them from your hand. Not a quick effect, just inherently on your turn. During your main phase, you can special summon one Ashen monster from your hand except itself. Or if your opponent controls a monster with 2800 or more attack, you can special summon it from your deck instead. That is very good. Obviously, you can give your opponent the dragon and then summon the king, and then the king can summon any Ashen from your deck. That is pretty strong. Deck interactions are always good for archetypes as they're coming out, and it gives a good indicator for how good they are going to be. Hero of the Ashen City. If the field spell is on the field zone, you can special summon it. During the main phase quick effect, you can target one Pyro on the field, destroy it. Then if you destroyed the Dragon of Extinction by this effect, you can place one field spell from your deck face up in your field zone. So this is another way to get to your field spell, which is very nice. I like that a lot. I also like that this is a quick effect pop so that you have a quick effect interaction with your opponent. So I like that a lot too. We will see how this fares going into the next format because it specifically pops Pyros. I know that there is a way to make your opponent's stuff Pyro, but I don't know how reliable that is going to be. But we'll talk about that more when we get to it. Next up is the Priestess of the Ashen City. God, this art is beautiful. If, again, the field spell is on the field, special summon it. You can only special it once this way. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Ashen card from your deck to your hand, except herself. You can only use this effect of herself once per turn. Pretty good. Just a general Stratos effect to search. If it's normal or special, search. That is very strong and is searchable by Bonfire. Of course, that is very strong. Next up, the Field Spell. This is the card that keeps getting referenced on these cards. Face up special summon monsters your opponent controls become Pyro during your turn only. So this turns your opponent's cards Pyros on your turn only. So this allows you to pop not just the dragon with that Ashen monster, the hero. You can pop other things with this card on the field because it turns them Pyro. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. During the end phase, you can target one field spell in your graveyard, place it at the bottom of the deck, and draw a card. So it gives you a long game with the field spells, which is very nice. If this card in the field zone is destroyed or banished, you can special summon one Ashen monster from your deck. That is a very strong last effect, but there is still yet to be a like one card combo for this that we need. And there's not a lot of good field spell destruction cards that are going to work with this, but we'll talk about that a little bit after. The last card, not the last card, the second to last card, the other spell card is Awakening of Vitos. Place one field spell from your deck face up in either field zone, so you can give this to your opponent as well. Then, if your opponent controls a card in their field zone, one you just gave them, you can add one level 5 or higher Dark Pyro monster from your deck to your hand. For the rest of this turn, after this effect resolves, you cannot special summon from the deck or extra deck except Pyros. That restriction is so heavy, and you can only activate 1 Awakening per turn, but that restriction really sucks. That is such a harsh restriction. By the way, I looked through all of the Pyros in the extra deck. It is like just Banshee. Like Banshee is the best one by far, and there's nothing even like remotely kind of good after that, sadly. But this is a good startup to be able to use this, give your opponent a field spell, get the dragon, pop the field spell, summon the dragon, summon the king. King can then summon like the, maybe summon the hero. Hero can pop the dragon. The dragon pops everything, right? It destroys all monsters on the field, so that wouldn't even work too. You have to be careful. Again, you have to kind of be careful of how you're picking and choosing to use these cards too. So, you know, we still have to figure it out, but you can go king for, I guess, priestess to add the field spell. So like there is like a good line with just Awakening by itself, which is very nice, but we'll see. But I do like that you can set this, give them the field spell on your opponent's turn, search the dragon, use the dragon, pop the field spell, summon itself out, and then you can interact with the dragon and pop the dragon. So it's very nice that you have that option to do that. Then lastly, the continuous trap, the only continuous trap we have that the dragon can be able to add or set, is when this card is activated, you can add 1 Velados, the Eruption Dragon of Extinction, or 1 Ashened monster from your graveyard to your hand. You can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls that you own, take control of that monster. Then you can make all face-up monsters your opponent controls currently lose attack equal to the targeted monster's original attack. This attack change lasts until the end of this turn. And you can only use this effect once per turn, and you can only activate this card once per turn. This is a pretty decent trap card. I think this is going to be okay. You probably play 1 of it in this deck. But that is it for the archetype. That's all we have. We only have, I believe, these 7 cards. And overall, I don't think they're competitively there yet. They're still missing stuff. This card as a hand trap, like a generic hand trap, I think could see play in the future. But an issue with this is that this is not a Ashen monster. This is not Ashen. So you cannot search this with something like Priestess, which I think could limit us. And you can also not summon it off of the field spell being sent to the graveyard. So that is just something to keep in mind. Overall, being able to try to make something maybe like Ancient Fairy Dragon, I thought would have been a pretty good way to play this. Maybe if you go like use her, get field spell, then maybe go like Destrudo on her, and then go in the Ancient Fairy pop the field spell, summon a guy from deck, and then maybe you can do something with that line. But like, again, these cards don't have any extra deck cards. The general extra deck pool isn't that great. They're also not fire, so we're not going to be able to use stuff like Promethean Princess with this, or the Wanted package. So that was such a bummer that there's no level 1 for this deck. I really thought that would be their big push for this, but it did not happen. So we cannot use the Wanted engine with this. We can use Bonfire, and they're all dark, so we can use stuff like a War of Darkness to help, but I feel like this is a deck you kind of want to play Prosperity in anyway. Maybe not with the draw for the end phase, so maybe it's like Potted Desires. But yeah, I don't know. This deck competitively, I don't think is it. I think this is good. It definitely needs more to be competitively viable, but as a like functioning deck, I think this could be a cool OTK deck because all of the Ashen monsters together, including the dragon, is exactly 8,000 damage. That was something they mentioned in the video. I thought that was kind of cool. But overall, I don't think this deck is just there yet. I think there's a nice base here that could in the future do a lot more. But for now, I don't think this is it. I think we need Pyro support, like more Pyro support, because this is a Pyro deck and we need stuff that you can do under the Awakening of Vydos. And because you can't, it really hurts if this is your starter. So overall, what do you guys think about Ashen? This is a very unique deck, something very cool, a little kaiju aspect in here. Stuff that you can just summon out of the hand for free. So like once you get the field spell, you're like online, you're ready to go. There could be potential here. Maybe I'm missing something. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.